Welcome back to the Genuine Ginger Experience. I'm your hostess, Mackenzie Quintana, and on this podcast, I share with you the things that I've learned and experienced a little bit that have just helped me be better, feel better, have a more joy filled life, and just a better life in hopes that you can have a better life too. So, we are on part 2 of an undecided amount of parts. We'll see how long it takes to get through the list of thoughts to try on that I have listed down. Now, these are from Jody Moore. If you missed the first part of this, these are some thoughts that I wrote down. I'm assuming it was from a training or something that I took of hers years ago, like I think it was like in around 2020, sometime in 2020, when I kind of first got started changing the way that I think and really deciding that I wanted to create my life instead of just kind of let my life happen to me. I didn't know at the time that that's what I was deciding, but essentially that's what I was deciding. I have a couple pages here of just thoughts to try on, and I've just been going through and talking about them with you. So, the next one that I have written down, which I almost didn't share because it feels personal, but it's not. So, but it could be personal, but I'm not going to make it super personal. Maybe. I don't know. But I mean, and I don't think she said my husband, but what I wrote was, my husband is on his own journey, and the best thing I can do for him is love him and hold the space for him to be on that journey. She probably said, like, this is, a significant other or a person that you love, a family member, whoever. I think it's not common, or it's not uncommon for many of us when we start to maybe wake up a little bit and realize, like, oh, my thoughts can really change my life, or like, oh, the things that I used to think aren't, like, maybe I can do things differently, and just kind of, have an awakening, as cliche as that might sound or whatever. Like, we want others to experience it too, right? We want to share what we have learned with others, and we want them to kind of have these same experiences and insights that we're having. And they're not always ready for that. They're not always on board. They're not always even supportive sometimes. And so that can be hard. And I know that was kind of true. Not that my husband necessarily was unsupportive, but he was just kind of like, okay, I don't really get it quite, but sure, you whatever you want to do, And I was just like, come on, like, this is so cool. And I just had to accept this thought, that I had to adopt this thought that he's on his own journey, and our journeys are going to look different, and the best thing that I can do is to love him, and just love him for who he is and where he is at on his journey, and trust that our journeys, though they may not look the same, we're gonna end up in the same place together eventually. Now that may not be true for everyone, right? You might, whoever you're feeling this way about, might not end up in the same place as you, but you still have to trust that they're gonna end up where they're meant to be, right? That it's just like, I believe so firmly that God directs my life, and that he has a plan for me, and he is guiding me the best that he can with my limited abilities and knowledge and insight and all the things. But, he's got me. I have to believe that he also has got my husband, and he's got each one of my children, and that even though I fail them over and over and over again, God's got them, and they're going to be okay. And so I love them for where they're at, just like I try to love myself for where I'm at. The next thought that I have written down, and these two, there's the next two of them, and I feel like they are, they go together, is the first one is, other people can do, act, and feel however they want. And the second one is, I can do and act and feel however I want. And I feel like if we could just give ourselves that permission and give others that permission, it is just such a weight off our shoulders. Other people can do, act, and feel however they want. So what am I trying to explain here? I don't know what she specifically meant about this, but what Jody Moore meant when she shared this. I don't have anything else written down, but I feel like for me, now thinking about this thought, it's really just letting go of the expectations that I have for other people. Not that I don't expect things from them. Like, yes, I expect my children to behave a certain way. But just like giving them permission to act and feel the way that they need to act, and not making them wrong for feeling and acting the way that they are. Like, they're probably doing the best that they can with the knowledge and the abilities that they have, right? And just kind of giving people that benefit of a doubt. It also, for me, means that I don't have to freaking judge other people. And this has been a huge one for me. I used to judge other people. I mean, not in I don't think it was like in a bad way. I wasn't trying to like judge them, but it's just, it's natural. I feel like that whenever we see someone and we just kind of start to make assumptions, we start to make judgments. And I feel like that's normal and natural for a lot of us, but we don't have to do that. Newsflash. Other people can do, act, and feel however they want, and you don't have to judge them for that, and you don't have to try to figure out why they're doing it that way. You don't have to you don't have to use your mind power for that. Last time we talked about our mind juice. You really want to be using your mind juice, coming up with these maybe possible reasons for why someone is the way or why they do it is, or creating up your own story in your mind that's probably not even true. Like, there's no point in you judging other people. There's no point in you trying to figure out why they're acting that way. Of course, if it's someone that's close to you that you care about and you can see that something is visibly wrong, then yeah, you're going to want to talk to them, but you don't have to make them wrong. It's really just, it kind of goes, now that I'm thinking about it, back with the one before just love them where they're at, and hold space for them. What does that look like? That means just being there for them in what they're feeling. Not necessarily that you have to feel the same way, but just being there for them. I can do and act however I want. I can do and act and feel however I want. And that is such a liberating thing. Such a liberating, what's the word? Permission that you can give yourself, that if you're upset, it's okay for you to act upset. It's okay for you to feel upset. If you are over the moon, just so excited and happy, you don't have to tone that down for anyone. You can feel that way. It's okay. Like, if you're having a crappy day and you need to just go in your room and scream, you can do that. Like, it's okay. If you don't want to cook dinner that night, I think we talked about that. There are no rules like this. You don't have to do that. You can do and act and feel however you want, whatever feels good. Now, obviously, are we just then gonna be total jerks to people because we feel like we're mad and upset at the world? No, right? But just giving yourself the freedom and the permission to not try to meet anyone else's expectations but your own is super powerful. The next thought that I wrote down is, there is no emotion that I cannot handle. And I have written down in little parentheses, think of emotion as a vibration in our body. Now this, I think we touched on this a little bit before, but like when we're talking high, when people say the word high vibe, that's where this came from. A vibration. Emotions are literally vibrations in our body. When you are angry, that is a vibration, that is an energy that is happening inside your body. Different people experience it at different places. Some people, they feel it in their heart. Some people it's in their stomach. Some people, it's in different places in your body. These emotions that are just literally just vibrations. It's energy that's in your body that is vibrating at different frequencies. that are these different emotions: sadness, happiness. Think about it. Obviously, in your body, it feels very different when you are angry as it does when you feel joy, right? Those are two very different emotions. They feel very different in your body. They vibrate very differently in your body. So, reminding yourself there is no emotion that you cannot handle. There is no vibration caused by a feeling, by an emotion happening that can happen in your body that is going to be too much for you. It might feel that way sometimes. Believe me, I have had a rough past week. I have been in a lot of feelings this last week. PMS, man, hormones, all the things. They bring up a lot of feelings, and I used to just be annoyed by that. This is going to be a little bit of a tangent, but I used to just be like, oh, it's just my girly emotions that are just all over the place, and that's why I'm just acting like a total, what a foosball. What am I trying to say? Just a total wreck, and I'm just crying about the dumbest things. But it wasn't until fairly recently that I realized that, no, that's actually divine design. It's actually, I feel like our emotions, our hormones get that way so that we can be aware of these emotions and these thoughts that are in our body that we need to let out. And a lot of times, one of the best ways to let out these emotions, these vibrations in our body, these feelings, is through crying. So I have cried a lot over the last few days, and it's been about a week. And there's been a few times where it has felt overwhelming. It has felt very overwhelming. The crying and the emotions coming up has felt extremely hard and extremely painful. And so I probably should have read this last week, but reminding yourself in those hard times that there is no emotion that you cannot handle. And also, now I'm thinking about it in a completely different way. What about all of these things that we're afraid to do, right? And why are we afraid to do them? Because we're afraid of failure. Well, is failure an emotion? I don't think failure is an emotion, but failure causes an emotion in us. Right? It's going to cause us to either feel upset or disappointed or discouraged or let down. Those are all kind of the same thing. But so just recognizing that, hold on, I hear a lot of screaming outside my door, like my kids might be coming in at any minute. I think my daughter's trying to avoid the conflict. She's trying to get him to not come in. Anyways. So when we're afraid to do something because we're afraid of failure, remembering that you can handle the emotion of failure. Like, that is something that your body is capable of processing and understanding. And it's okay for you to feel disappointed and discouraged. So you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to not do something because you're afraid of the emotion that it might cause for you in your body or in your life. I think we'll pick maybe one or two more. The next one is, it was always meant to happen this way. Whew, I needed that one. Trust that however your life has worked out up until this point, the highs, the lows, the things that didn't make sense, trust that it was always meant to happen that way. Because if it wasn't meant to happen that way, it would have happened a different way. Because God is always aware of what is going on, and He is always making things work out to the best, for your best and highest good. Now, does that mean that we don't have our agency? No, everyone still has their agency, right? So there's going to be choices sometimes that you're going to make, or that someone around you is going to make, that might, quote unquote, screw you up or mess up your life. It might feel like it was a mess, or like it was a mistake But can we trust that God was there guiding you? Maybe he didn't, I don't believe that he guided you to make the mistake, but he still guided you through the mistake. And he turned that mistake into a beautiful blessing. And if you're in the middle of something that feels like a mistake, or just maybe your whole life has felt that way, and you're just like, what even is my life right now? This just sucks. Trust that it was meant to happen this way, and there's something there for you to learn. There's something happening that is for your highest and greatest good, because that is always God's plan. That is always his intention. My oldest lately has made up his mind that my sole purpose is to make his life miserable. So I have to remind him constantly that I am always, always trying to help him and trying to do things because I love him and because I want to make his life better. And I'm not perfect at that, but I believe that God is. I believe that our Heavenly Father is. And so even though we make mistakes, he is guiding us and helping us. And it was meant to be that way because he is there with you in your journey, on your journey. And so it's okay. It's okay that things are the way that they are. It's okay that things were the way that they were. You don't have to wish that you could erase any part of your past, because it happened for a reason. And you can trust that God is making it into something beautiful for you. And I think we will end there. We are on page 3 out of 4. So we're doing about a page an episode. So maybe 2 more episodes, 2 more parts to this thoughts to try on. And this has been fun. I might just keep going and record. No, I'm going to stop. Like, who knows what's going on outside with my kids. I better go see. But thanks for joining in. I would love it if you shared this with someone, anyone that you feel like could use it, if this was helpful for you. I'd love to hear from you. You can leave a message on my website. My website is thegenuineginger.com. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm the.genuine.ginger. And you can also find me on Facebook, just Mackenzie Quintana. So, yeah, I'd love to get to know you. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love it if you shared this with someone. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the things, so that I know that this was helpful for you, and so that more people can hear the messages that I have to share, because I just want to help. I just want to help more women realize that they have more power than they realize, and that you really can have a joy-filled life even when it feels like you can't. So thanks for joining in. I will talk to you soon. Bye.